Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unfuck Your Mind. I'm your host, Zach Lyotis. And in today's podcast, I have Anja Schuetz. She teaches conscious entrepreneurs practical ways to financially benefit from the new tokenized economy and consults for first-time Bitcoin investors. While many people still misunderstand the purpose and nature of cryptocurrencies, she aims to convey their importance for our society in non-bankish and non-techy language. Anja believes that Bitcoin is money for a new consciousness. She helps her clients begin participating safely, often without even risking any of their own money. Thank you for being on the podcast today, Anja, and I'm so happy to have this conversation with you.
Thank you. So am I. Thank you for inviting me.
It's a great pleasure to see people talk about this Bitcoin. I went the wrong way with my Bitcoin investment because I really didn't understand much of it. I thought I jumped in on it and didn't really have the capacity to learn much about it because I didn't spend the time or the energy to put into it. And you really have to when it comes to such a new currency that's out there. So for those that don't know what Bitcoin or cryptocurrency is, could you bring light to that first and foremost?
Yeah, it is a new kind of money. For many people who only hear about it in the mainstream media, they think it's just a speculation tool for people to get rich quick or something, or to do bad stuff on the dark net. But it is really, to me, it's a money for a new consciousness. It works completely different than our current money, our dollars and euros and yen. It is an absolutely new kind of not only currency, but also a way of doing governance. This is actually the main revolution about Bitcoin, that it offers us a way to rule communities, basically. Communities can rule itself now without one ruler, without one central authority. And that is the big revolution. And the big keyword is decentralization, because right now we live in centralized systems where the power is centralized with one authority. And Bitcoin basically is a way to go from authority to autonomy. So where everyone in the network, in the Bitcoin community, whether it's Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, becomes their own center again. We are being put back in power to take responsibility for ourselves, to take care of our data, our money, and not have this. Right now we are giving our power away to central authorities. We have been doing this for all our lives. I mean, it used to be a good thing that we had central authorities, but since we entered the age of digitalization, it's turning more and more into a bad thing because we are becoming completely transparent. Our data are handled by big corporations like Google, Facebook, and so on. Our money is being handled by banks, governments, whatever. So we only have access to our money, but we don't have ownership. And this is what Bitcoin and decentralized networks, blockchains, give back to us. They put us back, they give us the power back over our data and our money. And in the digital world, of course, money is only data. So it's coming down to the same thing. That was a very long answer.
No, and I liked it because as I'm sitting here listening to you, it's just a whole new different way of thinking about money. Because you're talking about taking back your power, that we've given our power to the governments and to the banks and to this centralized system, and giving our information, our data to, you know, a lot of different entities out there energetically and commercially from what I'm getting, and socially, because as I say, Facebook, as much as it's a great place to be, to meet people, that's where we met. It's also a place where a lot of theft happens. A lot of mind manipulation happens through different little trivias that they give you and these cute little, you know, answer this and answer that. Meanwhile, there's scammers going everywhere. this new system that they have through emails where you don't get spam emails. I get more spam emails now from scammers trying to tell me that I've won 7.5 million, 10 million, 350 million. I've been getting emails like that for the last who knows how long now. And I'm trying to understand the whole Bitcoin or cryptocurrency game. Like I said, I went in, I lost a shitload of cash because I wasn't prepared to teach myself the knowledge that I should have before I invested.
Yeah, that is really key.
And that's
yeah, when it comes to investment, I mean, we should only invest in things that we understand and that we believe in. Many people, I don't know when you bought your Bitcoin, was it like a year ago or something?
Yes.
Yeah, because that was when many people bought Bitcoin, because the price went so high that there was such a big hype that many people fell for the hype and thought, oh, this is new thing and I don't want to miss out on this, and maybe this is finally my chance to make a lot of money. And so they all bought in, but of course at the highest price, or at a very high price, or a price that's higher than where it is now. So that's why I don't know if you sold it or if you still have. Do you still have it, your Bitcoin?
I still have it. I just let it sit
so
there.
Then, yeah, just exactly. So that's what you should do. They always say you only win or lose when you sell. So
Yes.
If you haven't sold it, because the price goes up and down, it's a very new technology. And that is something for investors that they should just know. So I tell everybody, if you put money in, only put money that you don't need for the next 3-5 years or something, because then you don't care where the price is. And it's a very volatile asset. But when you understand Bitcoin, when you buy it because you really believe in its future, then you know that the price will go astronomically high one day. And you don't need to care where it is right now. I'm in minus as well right now with my investments. I really do not care because I know maybe not this year, but next year or in 5 years, I will be very happy that I took this decision. But having said all that, when it comes to understanding, Bitcoin is actually not designed to be an investment tool or a speculation tool. It is being used for that right now, like it's also a new technology. So it's good to invest in new technologies, but actually it is designed to be a money that is being used. Yeah, that we are transacting with. It's not ready for that yet. That's why this is a long-term thing. It is still too slow and too expensive. So it is not solving a problem that we have right now. Like we have credit cards and cash, whatever, which is much faster than Bitcoin. That's why it's not spreading faster yet. It is spreading in countries like Venezuela or Zimbabwe where they have an actual problem. Yeah, like hyperinflation of currency and whatever. So, and this is actually what Bitcoin or digital currencies are made for, to really include people in the development world who are currently excluded from the financial system. Because in our current financial system is closed, and actually you have to be lucky to born into it. Yeah, there are 2 billion people or something in the world who have no access to a bank account or to any financial systems because they happen to be born in the wrong place. Either they don't have ID cards to open a bank account, or it costs too much, or they live too far away from the next bank, whatever, many reasons. With digital currencies, all they need is a phone and internet. And that is something that even in development countries belongs to basic needs by now, to have a smartphone and internet.
I know, well, it seems like the smartphones are really making their way through.
Yeah.
But is it Bitcoin that you only work with? Because I know there's tons of cryptocurrencies that are coming out now, and are they still being...
Yeah, no, it's not only Bitcoin, yeah. So it depends also. I mean, if people want to invest, it's good always to have a portfolio that is diversified and you don't put everything just in Bitcoin. But then also, I mean, there are tons of cryptocurrencies, but they are not all meant to become money. Yeah, so there are, I just call them blockchain projects. because they all try to solve a different problem in certain industries or whatever. Like, for example, we just talked about Facebook and, these data giants stealing our data or deciding what we see in our feed, influencing our opinion, all these things. There are now alternative social media platforms on the blockchain, which are censorship free, where you do not have to even enter your email or anything, where you can just stay completely anonymous, and which reward you financially, which have their own cryptocurrency built in, which you get in return for publishing content. Or like if you publish a blog post and I click like, you get paid. And the money is coming from the blockchain. So there's a website called steemit.com, which is the first working platform that people are earning money on. I've been blogging on there for 2 years, and I'm earning money there for everything I publish. And so this is going to happen in every industry. Blockchain is going to take over every industry, and introduce new compensation models, new ways of interacting with each other, and and a new way. I mean, it's about digitalization without losing power, without losing your data. Yeah, because our data and our attention are the most precious commodity in the current world that advertisers want, that corporations want. So in our data, we need to make sure that we are in control of who has access to our data. And that is what decentralized blockchains are all about. If we move further into digitalization in the centralized way, the way we are right now, we are becoming complete slaves, absolute slaves. Because every transaction, every personal information about us will be visible to these corporations, and will be used, sold to advertisers or whatever to influence us. So that takes our free will away, because we think whatever we see in our Facebook feed or whatever is reality, but it's only such a small glimpse of reality. And and especially when it comes to money, just to go back to Bitcoin, I don't know if you have heard of the cashless society, that cash is going to be phased out. This is not a conspiracy theory. Some people think that, but it's just natural evolution of money. Money has become more and more portable over thousands of years. So in a digital world, of course, it's natural that money will become digital. So physical cash will go away. But what that means is if we have a cashless society in a centralized world where everything is going through a bank or PayPal or credit card, that means that every single transaction we make, if I send you money, will be registered somewhere and can be used against us. Our bank accounts can be blocked, just like now. I mean, my bank account was frozen last year by the bank, because they can just do that if they think, well, here's something, you didn't pay tax or whatever, or just make an error, human error. If that happens in a society where we don't have cash anymore, we are completely helpless. We are completely slaves to corporations and banks. And Bitcoin is digital cash. That is the most important thing that people need to understand about Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't have this central authority in the middle. So if I send you Bitcoin, I send it to you directly. It's the Bitcoin blockchain, or any blockchain, is a peer-to-peer network, which works exactly like if we would be physically in a room together and I just give you cash. There's no third party in the middle. It's cheaper, it's faster than bank transactions. And exactly, this is the exact concept of Bitcoin. It's digital cash. It basically allows us to deal with cash not only in the same room, but globally, wherever we are in the world, without giving our data away, without needing to ask for permission, without anybody telling us, oh, you can't send more than $5,000 a day or whatever.
Yeah.
It's completely up to us.
For sure. Can you explain to those that maybe not understand what a blockchain is?
Yeah, so the blockchain and Bitcoin, they were invented together. Blockchain basically is the underlying technology on which Bitcoin lives or runs. It's a peer-to-peer network. It's something super simple and very complicated at the same time, because in theory it is just a register, like a database. It's like a big Google spreadsheet that has 21 million on top, because there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins. So that number is fixed, and it's also fixed how, in what intervals they are being issued. Right now there are around 17 million in circulation. And then, so basically this is, you have a spreadsheet and everybody can participate in this spreadsheet. All they need is an app on the phone, for example. They do not need to open an account with someone. They do not need to ask for permission. They do not need to put a minimum of money in. All of these approval things and rules do not exist there. And you basically and now I lost my train of thought. But it's basically as simple as a spreadsheet. The blockchain is very lightweight also. It's just maybe 250 gigabyte or something. Everybody can download it on their computer should they want to. You don't have to in order to participate. And the magic thing is that the moment, let's say I send you a Bitcoin, that is one transaction. That transaction will be broadcast across the whole network to everyone who's participating all around the world instantly. So everybody will always have the latest copy of the blockchain, which also means, which is one of the reasons why it is so secure and unhackable. The Bitcoin blockchain is the most secure technology in the world right now. That's why everybody is getting interested in blockchain technology, because it makes everything faster, cheaper, more secure. Which business doesn't want that? But they do not want the decentralization part of Bitcoin. They want to control and centralize the blockchains. Like banks, they are all interested in blockchain technology, but they don't like the decentralization part where everybody is in charge of themselves.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? And I know everyone says it's safe and secure, but I always believe a thief's three steps ahead of anybody else when they want to do that. So
yeah,
and I've heard so many things when it comes to, someone broke into the blockchain. So how safe and secure could the blockchain truly be? Because if someone wants to get in, someone's brain works in that capacity. Someone could figure it out. There's a genius out there somewhere.
Yeah.
So how secure is it in regards to keeping up to the security and the safety of the blockchain?
So, okay, there are several answers to this. First of all, Satoshi Nakamoto, that mysterious person who is the creator of the blockchain, I believe he was that genius person who thought of everything and prevented that it could ever be hacked. But I still need a better answer to this question, why it really can't be hacked. So I'm working on this at the moment because I'm like you. I got the same question yesterday. By now, I have educated myself for a long time. I have come to really the knowledge and the belief it really cannot be hacked, but I'm not at the point yet where I can comprehensively explain it to you why it cannot be hacked. But it has to do with the way Bitcoins are being issued, with the mining process, with the amount of energy it takes to create a Bitcoin. This is all on purpose to assure the security of the network. Another reason, the other thing is the blockchain has never been hacked. Bitcoins have never been stolen from the blockchain, but from exchanges. So right now we have our centralized system of banks and whatever, and then we have the blockchain. We need bridges in order, to buy a Bitcoin with dollars and whatever. And these bridges are exchanges. which work like banks. They are centralized. So all the Bitcoins that have been stolen from those exchanges. They are still on the blockchain because nobody can steal them from the blockchain. Just nobody can, or the original owners can't access them anymore. They have changed owner basically, but they are still on the blockchain. They can't disappear from there. This is a little bit complicated. But the last reason why I really believe this is really the technology and unhackable technology of the future is that it resembles nature. The blockchain is a network that works exactly like tree roots or mushroom networks. Like mushrooms are the oldest species in the world that are anti-fragile. and the way the Bitcoin blockchain works, it is very much like these natural networks. So I will educate myself more on that so I can explain this better in the next interview.
Perfect. Yeah, the next conversation. But I want to kind of loosen something up here, understand more something. That's what I mean by loosening something up, because it's something that I've had someone ask me questions about it. I mean, I can't answer it because I didn't do much research. But you said something. It doesn't take much to create a Bitcoin in the blockchain.
No, the opposite. It does cost a lot of energy.
So it causes a lot of energy.
Yeah. So that is also the criticism a lot, that it does cost so much energy. It costs about $5,000 or something to make one Bitcoin. That has to do with the amount of computing power that is being used. That would be very technical if I went into this now, but it costs energy to create a Bitcoin. Yes. Yeah.
So, and I think Bitcoin, I'm just going, I haven't looked into Bitcoin for the last year or so, but Bitcoin is for energy resources. Am I correct on that one?
What do you mean it's for energy resources?
So what is the purpose of a Bitcoin? Because you said every cryptocurrency has its many different resources. So what is
okay. Well, the purpose of Bitcoin is to decentralize power when it comes to money. The purpose of Bitcoin is to become digital cash that every person on the planet has access to, no matter where they live. So even the so-called unbanked, so these 2 billion people who don't have access to financial services, they are called the unbanked. It's to bank the unbanked. it's to create financial inclusion, financial empowerment for everybody, for every person in the world, because that is not the case right now. Right now, our current money system is based on exclusion and on permission and approval. And this is all things you do not need on the Bitcoin blockchain, but also on many other. So there's not just Bitcoin. There are other cryptocurrencies who also aim to become digital cash that we use on a daily basis.
I understand that. Okay. But was there such, I'm trying to think back. I'm trying to backpedal to, a year and a half ago when I got a little bit of information on this, but was there an environmental aspect that they were looking towards and bringing Bitcoin in on that as well?
Well, the environmental aspect is about the high energy cost that it takes to create Bitcoin, the so-called mining process. So the Bitcoin blockchain is run by miners. Miners are, the term comes from gold mining, but what the miners actually do is they are actually just bookkeepers. They check all the transactions on the Bitcoin network. Like if I send you a Bitcoin, these miners will verify this transaction and confirm it. And as a reward for all of this work, they earn Bitcoins or they win Bitcoins. It's like a random lottery kind of thing. And this process takes a lot of energy to participate in. And these high costs of energy have always been a point of criticism. Like it's a bug in the system that it costs so much, but it's actually the very feature that makes Bitcoin so secure. And to me, well, first of all, many people don't know that most of the energy that is being used for Bitcoin mining is leftover energy that is already being produced. These miners are buying these from governments in China, whatever. So the energy is already, it would just go to waste if Bitcoin miners wouldn't use it. So that's why it's not such a big, it's not such a big point of criticism. Then 70% of it are renewable energies. And if you compare it to the whole banking system right now that it is meant to replace, it is only a fraction of the costs that of the old system. But for me, my main point is we know that free energy exists in the universe. And we know that it's being suppressed. There's the usage that many people have created devices to access this free energy, but this is something that's being suppressed because the old system still wants to go to war over oil and fossil fuels and whatever, use fossil fuels. And so to me, if we had free energy, nobody would care about the high energy costs of Bitcoin. So it's not Bitcoin that's the problem, it's the old system, and that it wants to profit from the energy resources that it's still using, mainly oil and whatever. So yeah, this is a bit point of discussion. It is, I can understand the concern, but it's just not what it looks like. So that's why we need to educate ourselves.
Well, yeah, and I know that's the renewable energy that I remember that people were speaking about. The Bitcoin is taking a lot of energy to produce, and it's using renewable sources. Is it actually tapping into, like, say, the energy from the sun into certain panels that's being created, which the sun brings us all this energy, yet it costs us thousands of dollars to be able to reuse that energy in our home because we're not able to get the panels, or you can't. I know here in Canada they say certain things, there's certain restrictions now where you get your renewable energy panels from and stuff like that, your solar panels. So there's a lot of controversy going on with that right now that I actually just said I didn't want to hear about this anymore because the government is really trying to manipulate our minds in so many ways, and believing in old paradigms and in old stories and stuff like that. It is time for a change, but this change is not going to happen overnight. I see it happening maybe in the next 25, 30 years, between 20 and 30 years. I don't know if I'll be alive then. I know I probably will be alive, but I bring the 40, 56. Yeah, I should be alive. I'd be 80 years old. No, what am I talking about? I'll be 75 years old. So it's a matter of really working on things right now, because really at the end of the day, I believe just the universe, the earth right now is going through a massive shift and a massive, uproar in order for the awakening to happen, because there has been a lot of greed, to say the least. I'll just mark it down as greed, with all these, the system of the rich getting richer and supporting the white collar. And I'm not saying this to put anyone down by any means, but just calling a spade by what I've been feeling and what the universe is telling me. Like I said, I didn't do much research on this because this is something that I've been feeling into the system through energetic frequencies. And there is going to be a lot of shift going on, but this is where I think our millennials come in to teach the elders something new that maybe we not recognize, being so imprinted with different beliefs. And now a lot of millennials have all sorts of cryptocurrencies. I've met so many of them basically making millions of dollars learning about cryptocurrencies, and they're 20 years old and they're multi-millionaires, and kudos to them, because they want to change the system. They want to change the way consciousness is around money, and they don't want to be controlled. Whereas the old beliefs of we're okay, we we say that we're not okay by being controlled, but things are taking so much longer to be shifted in order for us to be in favor of what we believe in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also they come in with such a desire for freedom. Mm-hmm. Our desire, or the maybe our parents' this generation's desire, was more for security. Mm-hmm. It's still the post-war generation, whatever. This new generation brings such a desire for freedom and autonomy, which is this whole shift that Bitcoin brings. I mean, to me, this is all about a shift in consciousness. And when I look at the world, I'm just not surprised that we have manifested this new kind of money. And now I'm just on a mission to, because my highest value in life is freedom too. Mm-hmm. So I'm on a mission to just spread the word right now, because we need to co-create this. If we do not participate, and we really are at the fork in the road right now, where we go either into slavery or into freedom. But we need to fight for that freedom. We need to co-create this new world of decentralization. And it doesn't mean that everything will be decentralized, but when it comes to our money and our data, we need to fight for decentralization and our freedom. Otherwise, well, we already see what's happening with our data, and some people don't care and they say, oh, but I have nothing to hide. But, you know, if our opinions are being influenced, just look at the world, how it's split in two camps in every single country or area right now. This is all designed by the information that we are being fed. And we need to free ourselves from that. Yeah.
So how do you work with clients for them to participate safely without risking their own money when it comes to cryptocurrency or Bitcoin or?
Yeah, so there are two ways. So I have people who come to me because they want to invest. They do want to put their own money in. And it's mostly people older than 40 because they are closer to retirement than the younger generation. And they are also not digital natives, let's call it, because of course the millennium generation, they just Google something and figure out how things work. So my clients are people who have a lot of respect for this new technology, and they just want to make sure that if they do buy Bitcoin, that they do it in a way that's safe, that they know where to store it, how to keep track of it, and how not to lose it, because it's very easy to fall into traps and to just not know certain things because it's new and it's completely different from what we are used to. So that's one type of client. But then, yeah, there are ways to earn cryptocurrency, like, for example, on this platform called Steemit, STEEMIT.com, which is basically a social media, it's a social media platform. You can blog, you can post videos, you can post art, photography, recipes, whatever. I mean, you can do anything that you do on Facebook as well. And it's free to join, and you can earn cryptocurrency there. The cryptocurrency of that platform is called Steem. It's not called Bitcoin. And yeah, so basically I teach them how to get started. I have a little ebook, a beginner's guide also, and then how to, just optimize things and maximize your earnings, let's put it this way. And in the same way as Steemit, there are many, many other platforms that are, or apps or whatever, that are coming into existence now that allow us to be rewarded for things that we currently do for free. And this is the so-called tokenization of the future, where I don't know how much time. Yeah, okay. I can take a minute to explain this. So the tokenization of the future is basically, I saw a speaker once and he explained that that we will get paid for our third job. So we all have three jobs. We have our main job or business that we make an income from every day. Then we have all the things we do at home, the household, feeding the kids or whatever. all the things that nobody pays us for. And then we have a third job, which is all the things online that people request of us, like connect with me on LinkedIn, or please review the hotel you just stayed at, or can you just answer this short survey, or, you know, all of these things where we maybe just go delete, delete, delete. These are things that we will be paid for in the future, because most of these things, like writing a review for a hotel or something, are important for those hotels. But why should we take time of our day to do that? But if we get paid for it, if we earn points, or because cryptocurrency often is like, or tokens are like points, and then maybe we would do it if it's worth it for us. So there are many, many apps right now coming into existence that start this process, that allow us to earn, like the Steemit platform allows us to earn money for things that we have done for free on Facebook, Medium, Instagram, whatever, for years. And now suddenly we can get paid for them. And that will happen in many, many areas. And so this is something that I am focusing on a lot right now, because it allows you to join the crypto space safely. So you do not have to put your own money in, but you can begin earning it. And once you have earned, like for example on Steemit, once you have earned $50 or something, you will be motivated to figure out how to get this money out of the platform and into your pocket. Maybe before it's complicated or whatever, you know, but once you have earned a little bit, you will be inherently motivated to, and then it's easy to learn. If you have an inherent motivation, it's easy to learn. And the whole thing is easy. It might require 2 more steps than just making a PayPal transaction or something. But it's easy. So that is what I mean by practical and safe ways to join the crypto space, because especially when you're still skeptical, and you should be skeptical, it's best to join it without using your own money, especially if you don't have a lot.
So what was it again? STEEMIT, Steemit?
Exactly. Yeah, double E. So not EA, but double E.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you get paid for content. I've heard of this before, but I never looked into it. I don't know if it was called Steemit, but you get paid for the likes and you get paid for the shares.
Exactly. So it's not free money. You have to build a community or followers, just like you do on Instagram or Facebook, because you earn money from the upvotes. So a like is called an upvote on Steemit. And if people upvote your content, you get paid. And it's all mini amounts, but of course, if you get a lot, then it adds up. My name on Steemit is @ConnectEconomy. So if anybody's watching this, you can just check it out. So it's steemit.com/, like on Twitter, ConnectEconomy. And then you can see what I'm posting. I'm posting business stuff, I'm posting private stuff, and how much I'm earning, and the interactions. So that can give you a good idea.
That's a great way to just get started for learning purposes, I believe. So
absolutely, yeah. And the other part is that Steemit, of course, since it's a crypto platform, many people who post there are also crypto enthusiasts, and they post about crypto things. So it's also a great way to learn about cryptocurrency, blockchain. But also it needs more regular people. So I'm inviting all the astrologers, the chefs or nutritionists or actors or whatever, everybody and there are already many people like that on Steemit, but it's still, we still need more. So to make this really a diverse platform that doesn't just have cryptocurrency content on it.
That sounds fantastic. It's something that I'll definitely check out, because
I
believe my content could use some financial freedom in there, because I think it's great content. I don't say this out of the ego perspective, but it's true. I believe we all share a gift that, can bring so much wisdom and awareness to the expansion of humanity, and whichever way that is. if Steemit is offering for people to learn to that capacity. And not everyone likes Facebook. I've had a lot of people talk about this. I had to get off the platform for a while because it just felt like it was sucking life out of me. So I learned to re-like Facebook. Because I've met great people on there, just like you and a lot of the other guests that I've had on the podcast. I mean, fantastic men and women that I've met on there. And this is something that keeps me going on a daily basis. Say, you know what, this is beyond someone just sending their, chain letters that drive me crazy to say, if you don't respond to this, you're going to die in 3 hours or some foolishness like that. But there's a lot more to it. But Anja, thank you so much for being on the podcast and shedding some light on the whole cryptocurrency and the Bitcoin and blockchain. And I know there is a lot more that we need to, speak about or swallow or acknowledge. I always say that, and there's more I need to swallow, meaning, and there's more that I need to understand, here I am, I invested in it. I just kind of left it. I never sold anything. And I'm just like, I just look at it as money that's there. I don't even know what's there. If it's in a negative, I don't even know how it goes back up to a positive, but I just allow for that to kind of take its own course and see where it's going, because this, investments are not a get rich quick type of a scheme type. You have to really get to know what you're investing in, what you're doing it for. And when I got to learn a little bit about Bitcoin, I did believe in it on so many levels, and that's why I did it. But then it kind of plummeted, and I was just like, oh man. And that's because of a whole consciousness that was speaking negative about it. It kind of brought it down, but it was in the books to kind of
many reasons. Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons, and I know that because I had to just kind of maybe walk away from all the reasons and just say, you put it in there, now suck it up and continue working. So thank you.
Just don't sell.
Yeah, there's nothing to sell anyways. So, there's nothing to sell there, but thank you so much for shedding the light and, bringing some light to maybe those that are confused around the Bitcoin, not even Bitcoin, but cryptocurrency just in general, because there's a lot more cryptocurrency out there than just Bitcoin that is making its way through the blockchain technology. And a lot of people may not want to believe it, but one day we're going to have to become the reality of it. And we must start, learning now about it. Yes. So thank you for that.
Perfect ending to this. Perfect call to action. Thank you.
So for anyone that wants to learn more about blockchain technology, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and how to kind of make that new consciousness, which really is a new consciousness on how we, get rid of the old paradigm, the old beliefs, and all the old stories around money and, who has control of it. Who has control of it right now. So at the end of the day, if you want to learn more about Anja and what she does and to bring light to this whole new consciousness around money, all her information is in the show notes below. Feel free to contact Anja in order to bring more light into your conscious awareness between money, blockchains, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, whichever way you want to look, and breathe a new life into yourself. Until we speak again, guys, thank you for joining Wise Women Wednesdays. We will see you next week. Actually, we won't be seeing you. You'll be hearing from us next week. Until then, have yourself a beautiful day. Bye for now.
Thank you.